Hi, students. I had a wild idea to share some of my son's books with you, a little glimpse into my life and the life that I the life that I forced my poor 8-year-old son to have, all about physics. So, our story today is called Forces from the series Physical Science for Kids, written by Andy Dean and illustrated by Shululu. Shululu. And there are other books in this series. What happens when your bedroom door gets stuck? You might have to force it open. When you force something, you make it do what you want it to do. Has your mom ever forced you to clean your room or wash the breakfast dishes or take your pet lizard for a walk? I bet she's never had to force you to eat ice cream for dinner. There are other kinds of force too. There are forces that make us stick to earth. There are forces that make your soccer ball fly into a goal. There are forces that make your soccer ball roll to a stop before it even gets to the goal. Have you ever jumped off a chair? Have you ever jumped off a sidewalk? Have you ever jumped out of a tree? Don't jump out of trees. When you jump, do you fall up or down? You fall down because of gravity. Everything in the world is held to earth because of gravity. Gravity is a force. It is the most important force in the world. If gravity got turned off, which can never happen, our cars, pet lizards, picnic tables, and everything else would zoom away. Gravity is the force that holds everything together. What else holds things together? When you put pictures on your refrigerator, you might use a magnet to make them stick. Magnetism is another force. Magnets can attract or repel each other. Every magnet has a north pole and a south pole. If a north pole and a south pole are put together, they repel each other. Excuse me. If a north pole and a north pole are put together, they repel each other and move farther away. You can have fun playing with two magnets. You can find out what kind of things you can pick up with them. Is there anything you can't pick up with magnets? What happens when you put the ends of magnets together? What happens if you switch one of the ends around? If a north pole and a south pole are put together, they attract each other and move closer. When you and your friends have a tug of war, you are all using forces on the rope. One team creates a pulling force going one way, while the other team creates a pulling force going the other way. Who wins the tug of war game? Whoever can make the strongest force. What happens if both teams make equal forces on the rope? Does the rope move? Does anyone win the game? Forces can be pulling forces. There are also pushing forces. When you push your little sister on a swing, you are using a force to make her go higher and higher, and higher and higher, too high. What happens when the swing swings down? You better watch out. The swing and your sister can use a pushing force on you if you are in their path. When you ride a bicycle, what makes the wheels move? Are you using a pushing force on the pedals, which makes a pushing force? You are using a pushing force on the pedals, which makes a pushing force on the wheels. Your wheels move on the ground and send you riding your bike across the pavement. What happens if you lift up your feet and stop pedaling? You might glide for a while, especially if you're going downhill, but eventually your bike will stop. You will stop. And what makes you stop? Another force. A force called friction makes the bike stop. Friction happens when things rub against each other. The bike wheels rubbing against the pavement makes the bike slow down and stop. I think we might say it's the friction in the axle, but that's okay. Forces are what keep us on the ground, make us move, and stop us from moving forever. Be on the lookout for forces all around you. The end.